please subscribe, hit that like button, and as always, leave a comment, and thank you for enjoying the video.
Shot to right, slicing toward the pesky pole, down the line, it's going to be out of here! Line down the right field line toward the pesky pole, leaping up, and that ball is gone! That's a home run! A lot of our Nesson team as well. High fly down the right field line, headed toward the pesky pole, that one tucked in, and that ball is going to be against the wall and into second base. Number retired, and now Rafael Devers trying to retire that baseball inside the pesky pole.
Welcome to another episode of the Pesky Podcast, episode 73 with my man DC's the 1-year anniversary special. DC, did you think that we would actually hit the 1-year mark ever in your wildest dreams?
I didn't even think we were going to hit the episode 1 mark at one point. Started all as a joke, here we are. So it's been a fun ride.
Man, I can't wait for this. We got a lot of guests coming that mean a lot to us. We've sit there and had a lot of memories we're going to be talking about. But, man, DC, let's sit there and bring on right away. Let's bring on the third person, the third of the trio here. Let's bring on the OG, Mr. George Sutherland.
Hey, boys. How are you?
What's going on?
George, man, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing really great. This is kind of cool to get together and kind of reminisce over the last year.
Yeah, man. First off, George, I want to say thank you for, being there almost like since day one-ish, since we started the podcast. But man, you were right there shortly after, and giving ideas, giving feedback, and I want to first off say thank you for that, my man.
No worries. I think it's kind of wild that we both got started at doing what we're doing at about the same time, and unbeknownst to each other. And then we just kind of meshed together and became a really good team. So I'm really excited about that. I've had a blast working with you guys. It is. I cannot tell you how much fun it's been, and we've had a lot of laughs. We've done a lot of good stuff, and hey, one down. How many more to go? Let's go.
Yeah.
I'll echo what. Sorry, not to cut you off, but I'll echo what Josh said. Yeah, you've done a lot for this podcast. You started off just listening, sending suggestions. It's no secret that I haven't been around as much as I'd like to, and I think you stepped in seamlessly, and I think honestly you probably put it in better hands, while it's in your hands. So I just thank you for stepping in and being a part of the team.
Like I said, it's all teamwork, brother. That's what it's all about.
Well, I gotta say, early on, it was a little stressful the first couple episodes. DC was never really a podcast, so he was still getting his feet wet. And then on Twitter, we kind of started chit chatting with a certain person. She became a really good friend to us, and I don't know about you, DC, but once we really connected with her and had her on the podcast, it kind of took off for us. I want to sit there and bring her on right now. So without further ado, as long as her camera's working, let's bring on Melissa, aka Socks Addict.
For some reason, my AirPods just disconnected. Hold on.
It's okay.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me try this again. Oh my gosh. Why?
What?
Hold on, technical difficulties.
No, you're good.
If we didn't have technical difficulties, it wouldn't be us.
You remember DC's basement? Because I do.
Hold on.
Yeah, we hear her, but she can't hear us.
Okay.
But
is it on your phone? Are you on your phone? Nope, she ducked out.
Bluetooth. Hold on, I'm connecting.
But I don't want to say anything because she can't hear, so I can't give her props without her hearing us.
Well, we're waiting. What'd you guys have for
goodness.
What'd you have for dinner?
I'm gonna leave and come back right back in. Hold on.
My man Pete sends out a great happy 1 year. Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it a lot.
Daddy Pete in the house.
But man, it's crazy, because once we connected with Socks Addict, it was kind of it was a good thing because, like, I don't know, she helped us get our name out there. She went and helped us, she helped us get Keith Volk on,
Oh yeah, she was a catalyst for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And without her help, we would still be in DC's basement recording.
Hey, I had a newborn, man. I had to go downstairs.
Oh yeah. I'd say I remember that story, DC, because we were at work, and for some reason I was like, dude, wait, Ricky can't hear this, can she?
No. Okay. Be careful what you're about to say.
Oh no, because I was like, Socks Addict's back.
I fixed it. For my AirPods connected to my other phone.
Oh,
like, but I want you to finish that story though.
Oh no, because remember,
Sorry.
DC, when we were talking, and we were all getting hyped, we were hyping each other up, and I'm like, dude, you're like, what? I was like, do you remember that? Like, how are you going to do the podcast when you're having a kid? And you're like, oh crap, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was, thankfully I have a great wife that does a lot more than she needs and picks up my slack. So,
but Socks Addict, Melissa, what's going on, man? We were trying to give you props and talk to you, but you couldn't hear a word.
I couldn't hear you guys, but y'all could hear me probably. I'm like, crap, how do I fix this? Who knows what I said? Sorry if I said anything crazy.
But no, we just wanted to give you your props because without us connecting with you, we wanted to start it off as quickly as we did in the podcast world. Just having you on our podcast. Helped us get our name out. You went and helped us get Keith Volk on the podcast. We still wish we could edit out a corner square like Hollywood Squares, but we're unable to do that.
Then
we're going that way.
The one that shall not be named, like Voldemort.
But no, like the DC, George, love to give Melissa her props and talk.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was one of the first episodes we did. We met you, and ever since then, we all hit it off. I'll be forever thankful for everything you've done for us. You got us Keith Volk, but not only that, we created a friendship, which is, I think, even more important than that. Mm-hmm. Been a foundational piece throughout the last season, the first season we've been on. Just been very blessed to cross paths. So thank you.
Thank you.
So George?
Yeah, same. It's really a privilege to get to know you and work with you. You're really fun to be on the air, but you're a better person. So that's really cool. And
thank you.
Every time we get together, all we do is laugh, and that's pretty good.
True. That is true.
Yeah, but Melissa, do you have any like memories from the Pesky Podcast when you were listening that you want to sit there and talk about or bring up?
Oh yeah, the thing that sticks out in my head the most is the live, the opening day live. Christina and I had a few drinks because we did it. Yeah, like so. Well, it doesn't matter. That's just how we roll. But and joking about the pole, the pesky pole, and I put up my leg and I'm like, pesky party goes, woo. And then DC's like, I'm married. Like that part is so funny to me because it's like that for him. But
no, it was all jokes.
Yeah, I know it was jokes. I totally know
it was funny.
I totally know it was jokes. Yeah, it was very funny. And then that's how, like, I guess Pesky Party Girls came, because we're like, woo, woo. Like I said, Pesky Party Girls, and then that was it. It just stuck.
It's stuck, and the original ones were you, Christina, and Leslie. Mm-hmm. And then, we nominated our good friend Liz, who, Leslie is down sick. Liz couldn't make it because of class. So, but before we bring in the other half of the dynamic duo, we kind of had another moment. Like early on in the podcast, we had the Keith Folk moment when we got to interview him, and then we had another moment when we interviewed Devin Marrero. And when Devin and we put this on the air, and when I got a video or a text message on Twitter, stating that two gentlemen, a father and son, had his ball, wanted to give it back, it was just an absolute moment for us, and I was like, wow. So Tomas actually sent us in a video, and we're going to play it right now.
Hello, my name is Tomas Hammond. I just want to wish a happy 1-year anniversary to the Pesky Podcast. They're an amazing group of guys, and I just want to congratulate them on everything that they've accomplished in their first year. I came in touch with the Pesky Podcast when I noticed that they had an interview with Mr. Devin Marrero, a former Boston Red Sox player. I knew of his name when I went to Yankee Stadium for my 16th birthday, and he was playing against the Yankees. And me and my dad from Las Vegas wanted to make sure that we left that game with a souvenir. So when he hit his first home run into the stands and we caught it, knowing that Yankee Stadium would probably boo us for holding a Red Sox home run ball, we threw back a Yankee Stadium souvenir baseball back onto the field so that no one would hassle us for doing that. Little did we know that we were holding hostage a precious piece of memorabilia from Mr. Marrero. And so the years that followed, we just didn't know how to get the ball back to him. So when I saw that the Pesky Podcast was having an interview with him, I knew this was my chance to try and get this ball back. So I DM'd the Pesky Podcast. They got me and my dad onto their show, and we were able to explain to Mr. Marrero the terrible mistake and inconvenience that was given to him. And so we were able to talk to him and apologize and be able to bond over our love of baseball and the sport and the memories that it can build. And we were able to let him know his ball is in Las Vegas, Nevada. Whenever he's ready, he can come pick it up. But he's an amazing guy, and I owe it all to the Pesky Podcast. So again, Pesky Podcast, congratulations. Happy 1 year, and here's to many more. And of course, let's go Yankees.
Oh, you know what? That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool.
What a G. What a fucking G, man.
Yeah. That's
I would sit there and I would have edited that out, but for the class of a Yankee fan, and to give back a Red Sox home run ball to Devin Marrero, that was unbelievable. But without further ado, let's bring in the Ying to Melissa's Yang, and well, you can use whatever language you want, Christina. So let's bring her in. Christina, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Fucking great.
Yes, that's my girl. That is my girl.
I love it.
That is my girl.
So,
yeah,
Christina, man, it was great because we met you through Sox Addict, and overall, you became part of. Are you popping bottles over there?
No, my dog barked. I said my daughter.
Oh my goodness.
So, but Christina, you quickly became part of our family. As the shirt you're wearing, the Pesky Party Girl shirt.
Thank you.
And what kind of memories do you have about being on the podcast? Besides the amount of shots that you and Melissa used to take all the time.
Home run shot.
Yeah, my memory is very vague after all those shots. No, I'm just kidding. Well, the story Mel told earlier is still our favorite story with the DC I'm married, because that was just hilarious. Probably, I don't know, just everything. Okay. Opening day though, what was fun is because I'm always ahead of everybody because I have actual satellites. I'm streaming my games. And so it was always me going, fuck yeah, yes. And you're like, oh shit, something happened. She's cussing, something happened. And like, they're like, God damn it. And I was like, oh, sorry. So like opening day, me kind of ruined it, every little thing for everybody. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta remember to have a 5-second delay or 10-second delay for you all. So that was a fun memory. Opening day was fun though. That was our first time, and that was just like Mel said. We got up early that day. We started drinking that day. We decided we're gonna take shots for every home run that day, and yeah, just kind of. And then we just.
Good way to do it.
Yep.
DC George.
What's that?
I think I had that one throwaway line when Berger couldn't hit the strike zone. I think I said something like, "Yeah, he couldn't find the strike zone with his GPS," and everybody started cracking up.
Oh, that was hilarious.
We're just talking about the opening day.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite part was just meeting everybody. I think it was the first time I interacted with George, face to face on a computer, for that matter, and then everybody else. So I don't know, just the connections were built that day. So that's probably one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, and George was the one who asked us to make the Touch 'Em All Duvall shirt.
Yes.
Yeah.
So thank you, George.
which I have, and if they sign them again, I'll be wearing it again. So
nice, awesome.
Yeah, I gotta say, one of my favorite moments or episodes with the Pesky Party Girls on was the relationship episode. When we were talking about the Red Sox is like a dysfunctional relationship.
Oh,
yeah, Stockholm syndrome. That's what I say.
Yes.
Oh, you fall in love with your captor. Yeah.
Yeah. That was probably one of my favorite episodes. But then, from what I said, you guys kind of shunned me for a little bit when I said I'm ready for AC to move on as the manager, and then I had to swoop in and say, yeah, but I'm ready for Jason Varitek to take over. So.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that.
That gummy was hitting hard when you said that, and I was throwing up.
DC's always got, he's like, yeah, got a gummy.
Eating. That's another favorite part of my show, watching DC eat snacks and stuff. He's just eating away.
And he's just like, his eyes are getting smaller.
Yeah, and he's just eating away, and I'm like, all right. We're just all eating.
Yeah.
Oh, man. DC, remember when we had Joey Capone and the Party Girls on? I can't remember what episode that was.
Yeah, it was just Melissa. I wasn't on there.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah, I was in the basement because the baby was sleeping upstairs, and then he called me out here on the show.
Yeah,
you gotta do for the kids, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I sacrifice internet connection, so I hope she knows that when she gets older. She remembers that when she tells me she hates me for the first time. I'll play that back.
So, but Christina, Melissa, any final thoughts? Final memories you guys want to bring up? And what do you look forward to for the next year we have?
I'll let her go first.
Well, yeah, final memory. I mean, just like DC said, I love the relationships we formed. I can be myself. I mean, I am who I am, but but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I know it's been a while since we talked. It's during the whole. I've got two people, person in football season, I'm a person in baseball season, and so I'm a little bit different either way. But for this year, I'm looking forward to listening to you guys, hearing some more of the banter, seeing what y'all got planned for us this year, and I'm waiting for my tank top. I live in Texas. It's hot in the summer. I want my Pesky Party Girl tank. Waiting for that.
Get on that, Rick.
I'm waiting for it. I'm a tank girl.
I'll have to
One
sit
thing I
there.
learned, you got to keep the women happy.
I'll have to add that to the website ASAP just for you.
Thank you. I was on there yesterday checking. I really was. I was like looking. I was like, okay, they still don't have a tank.
So, Melissa.
First of all, I want to thank y'all. Like, it's been a pleasure every time. It's always fun. You make me feel special when I'm on here. Like, that means a lot to me. How the way y'all make me feel. And what I'm looking forward to is I live like not even 30 minutes, I don't think, from Fenway Park. I haven't like mapped it, but like, yeah, so a little drive to Fenway, and I'll be there a lot. Well, but I think I'll probably be at Polar Park a lot more. So I'm excited about that and being involved in things there. So that's gonna be fun. Like, I'm gonna watch a lot of minor league games. So you need to come up and go to one. George, you go to them, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of Portland games. I'm about 25 minutes away.
Portland.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I do want to do some. I'm going to do some Portland games also. So we need to connect when that happens. Figure out when you're, So that'd be wonderful. So, but thanks for everything y'all have done. You've been wonderful. I'm proud of y'all. Y'all have done a great job. And I love it.
Thank you.
Well, Melissa, I know DC and I will be heading up because I know I have a nice couch, and Mikey brings it up all the time that you got a couch when you coming up.
I've slept on that couch. It is very comfortable.
Where am I sleeping?
It's the floor couch. It's y'all
you can sleep right next to me, big dog.
Get nervous if Mikey says he has a dog, buddy.
Rick, he's married. He's married.
No, he's not.
I call a little spoon.
Oh, wait, who are you talking? You're talking about Mikey
DC, because Rick said he could sit right next to him, and I was like, DC said he's married. He's married.
Okay. Anyway, that's a huge couch. It's very comfortable. Just saying, I slept on it in September. It's very comfortable. Yeah.
So
there you go.
We're definitely going to sit there and meet up this season for a couple games. So
yeah, that's wonderful.
Christina, Melissa, thank you, and we'll sit there and we're connecting and make something happen for the home opener because I'm not staying up to midnight doing a live podcast opening day.
Wow, what a nerd!
I will be at the home opener, so I should be anyway. So maybe I'll
do the second home opener.
Yeah.
You can report live.
Yeah, live from Fenway Park.
So, well, Christina, Melissa, thanks for stopping by, and we're gonna bring year 2 and have more memories with you guys. So,
thank you.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
I know, I miss y'all. So glad we got to see you.
Yes. Have fun.
Bye. Take care.
Bye.
Well, guys, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be going to a video by one of my close friends and our close friends from the podcast. We're going to bring on a quick video from our boy, Theo Denlinger.
Hey, Pesky Podcast. Theo Denlinger here. Just wanted to say huge, happy 1-year anniversary, and it was an insane pleasure to be working with you guys. I hope to continue to work with you guys and have fun and go on the podcast and just talk about life and baseball and getting after it. I love it. Love what you guys do. Making the shirt, the Viking, that was sick. Absolutely love that. So continue doing what you guys do, and happy 1-year anniversary.
That was dope.
Man, sit there and Theo, class act all the way, the Viking. I got to work with him hand in hand with a shirt it's available on our website, so you guys gotta check it out. But man, we're gonna be talking a little bit later when it's just us about how we became and had relationships with a lot of these minor league players and became friends with them after we had Mr. Joe Bradley on our podcast. So, but next up, the man of the half hour, we're gonna bring on. This is George's favorite because George is his favorite, Mr. Ed Hand.
Hey, George.
Ed, what's going on?
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, man?
What's up?
So, Ed, man, first off, thanks for stopping by. We the second half of the season, we talked a lot more. We've had you on the podcast a couple of times, and just being able to talk to you, work with you a little bit, and get your insight, because you get to go to these minor league games. You get to interact with the players, and you helped us a lot, along with Andrew Parker and Chris Cotillo and stuff like that, getting to talk to us and help us out. First off, I want to personally say thank you for giving us the advice that you do all the time. Who to sit there and talk to, who's a good person to talk to, that you can get a lot of content from and stuff like that.
That's nice of you to say. Thank you. I just want to say this is the first time I've actually gotten to do one of these with DC.
Yeah, I was about to say, nice to meet you, man. I wasn't part of the last one.
I feel like I've interacted with you a decent amount at never. It's always different when you meet somebody face to face,
Yeah, for sure. No, I really appreciate you coming on, man, giving us your time. I know you got a lot going on. So, and hey, congratulations. I know it's a little, a couple months now, but on your marriage. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. You've got a good beard, Rit. This is laziness, what I have right now. So I'm just looking at the format with this, and I'm like, oh God, you've let yourself go.
Yeah, but at least you guys can grow a beard, man. I want the option, but I don't even have the option.
You could do a sweet mustache, though. I bet. I feel like George, in the past, you've had a full Fidel Castro beard, and you're just kind of done with it for now.
Yep. Long time ago, but these days I look like Papa Smurf if it came in. So,
oh my God,
I don't think Papa Smurf. I think you're like Papa Smurf and Smurfette's child. You're like their son.
Oh man, but Ed, I'll
leave that one alone.
If you brush your beard and oil it, you could get a nice beard going on. You might have to ask permission from the wife.
Though. Beauty is so much work. I'd rather leave it to the pros,
Well, I'm not a pro, but it's kind of ironic that you actually brought up beard conversation, because the last time George and I got to interview Theo, I kind of challenged Theo.
Great? Oh, isn't he just an absolute delight of a human being?
Oh, he's a good
if
dude.
He told me, hey, there's this pitcher in AA right now, and he kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere, and he's really into Lord of the Rings. Oh, and he also works as a blacksmith 3 months out of the year. Wouldn't he look exactly like how Theo Denlinger looks? Isn't that he's a character? He's a folk hero.
I challenged him. I said, by the time I see him when they play the Rail Riders, I want him to have a beard, and then of course, he challenged me in return that he wants me to have long hair like him. So we'll see who gets it first. I'm pretty sure he will.
Good luck with that, bro.
You're telling me. I might have to go up in a wig or something, because
hey,
I got
2024, man. You can make it look real good. That's crazy what they got going on.
So, but Ed, what's been going on with you? Spring training game 1 today. So, what are your predictions? Hopefully you don't say a lot of pain for this season, because I'm optimistic. So,
what are you optimistic about?
I'm optimistic because I'm looking at some great defense all year. Last year's first half was atrocious.
But how do you know the defense is going to be better? What makes you think that it's going to be different than last year?
Because as soon as Trevor Story came back, the defense uptick was through the roof. And I honestly think with him being the leader in the infield, I was watching video and everything with his camp and how he was working with Hamilton, Grissom, who else? Tristan Casas was there. Yorkie. I think that he's going to have that kind of take over that team captain role, and he's going to settle down the infield, because the first time a ball got hit to Trevor Story at shortstop and he swung it over to Casas, and he didn't have to stretch like 300 feet over his head. I think he might have had a slight mild heart attack. You know,
I thought you were going
like,
somewhere else with that.
Wait, this is how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to throw it to me. So that's kind of what I'm optimistic in with the defense, and then just getting to see some of the young talent, overall, and just a healthy pitching staff.
Okay, like, so what does that sound like for you? Like, Will, what is a health? Here's the problem with like a healthy pitching staff with this. It needs to be more than that. It needs to be these guys taking a step forward.
Oh yeah.
Because if you go into the rotation on opening day, and who do you think the number one is right now? Because for me, I think I would put Bayo there. With what they have, I would put Bayo in the number one. Give him confidence. If this is a guy that you want to sign long term, you know what? Oh, that's a lot of pressure for him. You know what? You know what's a lot of pressure? Pitching in a playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
Pitching in the city of Boston is a lot of pressure. So if he can't handle being the opening day starter, because that's gonna be too tough for him. What's he even doing being a professional athlete? You know. So that I think that he'd be good if he's your number 3. I think that you're content with Brian Bayo as a number 3 right now. You don't feel great about him matching up with the Corbin Burnses of the world, though.
Yeah.
Number two, it's Giolito, right? That's who you got to put there. Do you think last year was real for him? Do you think it was the first half, or do you think it was the second half? Because he was going through a nasty divorce, and then he also got traded to the friggin' Angels, which is like the most dysfunctional organization in baseball. I think there's a bounce back there. What do you guys think?
I think it's a bounce back, and not only that, like you mentioned it, and George mentioned it in our preview video on our YouTube channel. Like you said, he had a divorce. He was traded twice. You know, in the same season. It was, it's just a lot going through his head. And I think that he has a nice bounce back year this year. Opening day starter, and this is what I would honestly say, I would want for the opening day when we play Seattle, give Pivetta the ball. I would love to have Pivetta have the ball for what he did, you know, after he went to the bullpen. And then he got, for starter, give him the opening day for that. But then give Bayo, try to figure out a way to give Bayo the opening day at Fenway Park. So
I don't hate Pivetta being the number one, just because if it's like a leadership thing, he's very clearly the rotation leader. So I wouldn't be opposed to that.
So
we have those as our number as our first 3, which you kind of prefer. These guys are your 3, 4, 5. You're feeling great if those are your 3, 4, 5. You're feeling fantastic. So who's the number 4? Cutter Crawford?
I think Cutter Crawford's he has to take a step forward. He's got to get to 175 innings. You know, he's got to get to the 5th, the 6th. You know, I think he only went to the 6th inning 3 times last year. So he's got to go deeper in the games, and he's got to take a step forward. I really, really hope that Bailey is able to help him get a little deeper in the games. And then as much as I sit there and don't like it right now, I think Halk is our number 5. And I just hope he develops a third pitch, because you can't be a starting pitcher in today's game to get through the order 3 times on 2 pitches. He's got to develop a third pitch, and he's got to be able to make it be efficient.
Hey, George, I got a question for you, because we're talking about Crawford, we're talking about Houck. Who are some comps from like days of Red Sox yore that you would compare those guys to?
Crawford, in terms of just the kind of gutty pitch he is, going back to the mid-A's, it's like an Al Nipper. He's 500 pitcher, but he'll go out there every 5 days and give you the innings. That's a tough one, because he's shown flashes, but it's never, you never quite get the total picture with him.
Can I tell you who Houck reminds me of?
Sure.
He's like if Jonathan Papelbon was a serial killer, he'd be Tanner Houck. You know what I mean? Like, what if they had kept trying Papelbon out as a starter?
Oh yeah.
I think that he would have been a path similar to Houck. I think if you made Houck the closer, he'd be on a Papelbon-ish trajectory.
Because he's
my
so bloody
feeling
focused.
for a long time has been like Houck the closer would be like a right-handed Josh Hader. I'm on. Can I tell you with Garrett Whitlock? And it's just like, I want him to be a starter so bad. And this offseason, I was finally convinced. I was like, no, he's a reliever. He belongs in the pen. And then he shows up at winter weekend looking like John friggin' Lester. And I want him to be a starter again. Now I'm like, oh, right-handed Lester? Yeah, let's do it. Let's go. And so he's my pick for number 5 this year. I know it's I can't quit him. You know, he's it's something very I just can't. I love it too much.
Yeah, I actually love I love, Ed, how you posted for the Woo Sox, the projected starters down there, and I love Josh Winkowski. I love Wink as an eventual starter, and I like how and Ferry how you said that they should keep him down in AAA, stretch him out, and really work him back out as a starter. Because
I'm not the only one who said that. Like that's I heard that from Lou Merloni. Like that, Lou was talking. Cora was talking about that at the beginning of the offseason. That's how they have them listed on Sox prospects. So if like that many people are saying it, and it makes sense. They have a million of these like 1-2 inning right-handed relievers. He's more valuable as a starter. Like I could listen. He wasn't great his first year. But why are we assuming that he's learned nothing over the last 2 years, that he can't grow? A lot of guys start off as long relievers and then they become starters after that. So, yeah, we know his floor as a reliever. Let's see what his ceiling is. Let's see if he can be that middle of the rotation workhorse. Remember Derek Lowe? He was a closer for the Red Sox for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tom Horton, he started as a starter. So the guys go from back and forth from different roles.
And I'm kind of curious. When we were talking about on the Pesky Party Hour closers, I brought up Bernardino. Like, what were your thoughts on Bernardino? Because at any time that Cora asked him in any position, any situation, he went in and handled his business.
Not as a closer though. I think I think he could probably you pick the right matchups, he can handle it. But he's not like a high octane guy. You've got guys in he's more gets by on deception and movement and being able to spot his pitches. High octane guys in that inning, they're revved up. The adrenaline's going. It's up to them. I want a guy that can overpower them there. I want a guy that's got just as much adrenaline going. I don't want a guy who has to try to trick them because push comes to shove. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball, even if it's super well spotted, it's not going to beat anybody. So I like him. I like picking and choosing spots. I like him as an opener. And I think he can even handle like 7th inning, 8th inning. I think he can do that, but just for that last inning, not the right type of pitcher, in my opinion.
Okay. DC, George, any more comments or anything you want to ask Ed?
I mean, kind of going on to Bernardino is, he's only left-hander in the bullpen. Do you want to really just wait to use him until the 9th inning? What there's a matchup, in the 6th, 7th, 8th? I agree. I don't think. Go ahead.
I think in the perfect world, he's your number 2 lefty. He's he's your change of pace lefty, but they don't. You're right that they don't have that number 1 right now. It's what they brought back Joely Rodriguez on like a minor league deal. So maybe if he can find what he wasn't able to find last year. I think Chris Murphy is a guy that could step into that, though. Also, the problem with Murphy is that they also want him to be a starter. So it's kind of he's getting stretched out as a starter, the same as all these other guys. I don't know. Is he that much more valuable as like a 3-inning guy or like a really good 1-inning guy? I don't know. We'll see on that one.
That's funny you said that. I was actually going to ask you about Chris Murphy. So thank you. Yeah, George, you got anything, buddy?
Going back to Houck as the potential closer, I mean, he'd approach the job with like, hey, it's a great day for an axe murder, and just go out there and just be totally nasty. So yeah.
Oh God, can we get a recording of George saying totally nasty? I just want that out of context.
Yeah, about 39 minutes, 40 seconds. We'll cut it out.
Nasty. Like, that's got to be in the intro for this show, guys. That's amazing.
You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Or like, we could take clips of pitchers making nasty pitches, and we'll start it off with him saying totally nasty.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's like the high, or like when somebody throws a totally nasty pitch, that recording just plays totally nasty over it. Like it's fucking awesome.
I got it marked down, George. That may be anytime we do a live show, I might have to have that audio boom just ready to drop after any pitch.
I wish I had a soundboard right now.
So, Ed, my last question for you is: have you heard anything? Because this is Brian Mata's pretty much last chance. Have you heard anything about him? I've reached out to like Theo and CT and stuff, but they don't want to talk about a teammate, which is completely understandable.
I thought you meant Theo Epstein. I was like, what? And then I was like, oh no, Denlinger. But now you can't just throw the name Theo around anymore. It's like he's not. I'm sorry, but Denlinger isn't the number one Theo, so he's got to go by Viking or something like that.
Yeah, I reached out to the Viking and CT. So, have you heard anything about Brian Mata? In spring
players
training,
don't talk about it. Like they're not going to talk about their teammate. I think everybody's rooting for him. He's a guy who's been in the system for a long time, and he's somebody who was the top pitching prospect for a bit. Mm-hmm. And it just hasn't really gone his way. And there have been injuries, and you can't control that. And the stuff is so good, but some of it, I don't believe he's going to be able to stay healthy until he shows me he can stay healthy. This isn't a case of a guy who's like, oh, well, he's kind of smaller in frame. I think he's going to get hurt. No, this is a guy that's gotten hurt the last 2-3 years pretty consecutively. Mm-hmm. So if he can't stay healthy, it doesn't matter. He's going to, you might not have to DFA him, but he's still on the 60-day IL and he can't help you at all. And then if he does get healthy, then okay, do we want to go down this road again? And there's no monopoly on talent in this league. There's a lot of, we've seen from guys like Zach Kelly that you can find players from a lot of different places that can compete with anybody else. There's no monopoly on talent in the league. Being on the field is honestly an underrated ability to have.
So, okay, Ed, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate it. We're definitely going to be reaching out for talks of spring training, and definitely throughout the whole season.
I just want to know, I want to know everything about George. I need you to write like your life story. I need you to write like the George Sutherland story, and I will listen to the audiobook if you narrate it. Okay.
Only if you want to go to sleep in 12 seconds, brother.
No, bro.
That would keep me up all night.
I don't.
I want to get a shirt that says "The OG fucks" and just have a picture of George's face right on it.
I don't even need the caption. I just need a shirt with George's face on it. Yeah. Like I would buy that. I would wear that around. I'm not saying this like I genuinely would. I'm doing that for Hogdale. That's what we've got. We're gonna have a Hogdale shirt that says Riz Drip Hog Repeat on it. So that's our big merchandising thing.
Yeah. I've been telling Rit we should get a picture of George, just like a cartoon picture, even like an outline with some
or like worst thing you can do, like if you want to have some text there, not worst thing, but like if you want to have text there, just put like Pundit of Pesky Poll or whatever on it, just put down advertise with it.
There you go.
Pundit to the Pesky Poll and George, like dancing on it.
Yeah, that'd be ugly.
So.
No, appreciate George, it. It was nice meeting you finally.
Yeah, really great getting to meet you, man.
George, you got to get that autobiography started and sent over to Ed before opening day.
Okay.
So, next up, we're going to sit there. We had a video sent in by, one of our good friends, Joey Stock. So let's sit there and play this real quick.
Hey, Josh, Joey Stock here. Congratulations on 1 year with the Pesky Podcast. Thank you so much for bringing me on. It's been an absolute honor to have met you and to have been a part of your show. Here's to many more big things coming in the future. Congrats.
So and that there, it was really good meeting Joey. And I can't remember. Were you part of that interview, DC, when we initially did with Joey Stock?
No.
Was that George and I, or was that just
No.
me? I can't remember.
No, I've never talked to him.
So, but no, I got a good relationship with Joey. Him and I started a show that's bi-weekly, Raising Your Stock with Joey Stock, and was going through his career and everything, getting to know him as a person. And he's said that he'll pretty much help out the Pesky Podcast any way he can, and BSEN altogether. So next up, we have the dynamic duo that almost single-handedly funded us when we first started with our merchandise, because she has a kind of a spending problem. So let's bring on the dynamic duo of Mikey Two Guns and Steph, aka Swizzle. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Speaking of products,
Squawker in the background.
I can't get rid of her.
I couldn't say hi again.
So no, Mikey has a whole bunch of merchandise from our store over there at the crib. He's got the mason jars, and
it's a nice little backdrop here.
But no, we want to sit there and thank you guys for hooking up, ordering our merchandise, because during the beginning it was we were paying out of pocket everything, so we decided to open up a store. And as soon as Mikey, I'm going to end up getting you in trouble. I'm sorry.
He's already in trouble.
I'm in trouble every day. It's nothing.
Yeah, he's always in trouble.
Well, Mikey, if your timeout is there with all that stuff surrounding you, I'll take time out for you anytime.
Rit, I'm trying to be like you. I mean, you got the ultimate man cave there. I'm just trying to have it a little more organized version.
I got set in the basement here. So, but Mikey, you come on and filled in and been a guest on our show multiple times. Steph, this is the first time we actually get to meet you live.
I know.
The only thing I've got to meet was your guys' credit card information. But
so that explains those pizzas going to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
That's why my card keeps getting flagged for fraud. Now we know.
It's not fraud, it's IOUs. So, but no, a year with the Pesky Podcast, and you guys were listening really early on. Talk about some of the memories that you guys have had, and some of your favorite things.
Steph, I know you could talk all day. I think.
I don't know if I should have laughed at that or not.
I mean, he's not wrong.
Well, I mean, I hear the memories every day. She rehashes them, so they're fresh in my head. But I mean, just starting this journey with doing the podcast and covering all four teams. I mean, we've met a ton of really cool athletes, and been able to do some really cool interviews. I'm running on empty this week. This week, I was basically up like all night, many of the nights, trying to get out my Drew Bledsoe interview, because the Dynasty just released, or is still releasing, and I wanted to have my piece with Bledsoe that me and Steph did. So it's been just a crazy week. We put it up. Was it 2 days ago, Steph?
Tuesday morning, I think.
And hopefully people can hit up my YouTube page. Drew shared with us a lot of things that are not even talked about in the documentary. So yeah, I'm running on empty, a lot of sleepless nights, but I had to be here for this special 1 year show. So Steph, let me let you take the reins.
Well, and today is like a historical day, because not only is it the 1 year, but it's the only day this season we can say the Red Sox are undefeated. So we're lots of memories.
Champagne.
It's quite funny because I honestly forgot about the game today
Mm-hmm.
until it was on, and I was like, man, it's the first game of the season. This is the first episode of season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, man, it's really crazy, and just thinking about all the memories that we've had on the podcast and stuff. What are your guys' some of the memories from the podcast itself?
Oh man, you're gonna make me go.
That's a tough one.
I know. I was gonna say. I mean, my earliest interactions, with you guys was listening to the podcast, but also it was around the same time that Our Bleepin' City was starting up, and so there was a lot of like overlap and conversation about kind of like what topics we were covering and thoughts around things, and then my never-ending saga of trying to buy the mason jars that are sitting behind Mike, because that was quite a process for me. Excuse me, man, but it's funny. It's a silly memory, but one of the last times that you had Mike on, I wasn't able to listen like for a little bit. And then we were up, it was one morning, getting ready for work. And all of a sudden I hear Mike's voice coming out of Melissa's room. And I was so confused because she was listening to the show, and it happened to be like right around when Mike was talking. And I was so confused about what was happening because I was like, wait a minute. I know that voice. It doesn't belong here right now.
Like I said, it was the podcast. I was never there. So. But like to piggyback on top of that, I think some of the coolest experiences we've had is, meeting some of the athletes that we grew up wearing their jerseys. The Drew Bledsoe interview was amazing. It's been cool to meet a lot of the athletes that you'd never think you'd talk to when you were younger. We met two of the starting pitchers of the '86 World Series. I did a short interview with Doc, and then I did one with Clemens. So I know they say not to meet your heroes, but it's been a pretty enjoyable experience for us. I started the Our Bleepin' City podcast because I was sick of a lot of the coverage a lot of the coverage in Boston. It's all the same. It's all very negative. It's all very just tear the team down. And it thrives off of just negativity. So I'm a very positive person when it comes to, although the Red Sox are challenging that, but I wanted to kind of bring that style, to our show, because I'd always complain to you stuff that we gotta watch Felger every night on Boston Sports Tonight, and he's just ripping the team. So I think it's been really cool to be able to tell the story, through our vision, our not the team sucks vision, and Steph. It's funny because on Steph's timeline, a video popped up from how many years ago was that at the Basketball Hall of Fame?
4 or 5.
And we're doing like this kind of mock Sports Center thing. Mm-hmm. Never thinking that we'd ever get to this point where we'd be doing a podcast. And it's just kind of taking a life of its own.
I think I was gonna say, I think one of the coolest things though is like the friendships that we've made and the people that we've met, and like getting to, interact with, people like you guys, and like getting to know you and getting to know other fans and other other people who, have their own takes on things and collaborating and seeing everyone's visions come to fruition. It's really cool. And I feel like there's like a little community of people who all, overlap and intersect in some way. And your show has done a lot of bringing, all of these different people together. I know, obviously Melissa's my roommate, and, and I was watching, while I was waiting, and, I hopped on and I was like, oh, there's Christina. And then, Ed came on and I was like, oh, I know him, so it's very cool. Like, you guys, in doing this episode, you're bringing all of these, different like walks of life together. And I think it's really awesome.
Yeah. DC, George, you have any comments?
Yeah. I've said it before. Beginning of the show, I think my favorite part is just like Stephanie just said, the connections you make. Obviously without this show, I wouldn't know anybody. Obviously it's the first time I met Steph or Mikey Two Guns, but like Melissa and Christina, for example, they've done a lot for us, especially Melissa. Yeah. She's one of my favorite people that I've met, and I think it's just been very cool. Without this, I wouldn't know anybody that's in this room right now other than Rit. Met George. He's a pretty big part of my life now. We, us three talk every day in a group chat. It's just a cool thing to bring people together. It's fun to read on a team, but it's the connection you make throughout your life. It make it special. So just very thankful and blessed.
Absolutely. Yeah, we all have a common love of the team, and we're spread all over the place. But yet here we are. We can get together and talk. And it is about the relationships. There's a bunch of really great people we get to work with all the time, and that's the nicest thing you can say about anything. And you know what? If you're having fun doing it, all the better.
Yeah. And I will say, I picked out that couch, and it is incredibly comfortable, and it definitely will sleep two people.
Well, he's like, DC and I are going up, and he's like, I'm sleeping on the couch. And I'm just sitting there thinking, like, do I need to make an Airbnb reservation?
No,
or am I sleeping on
it's a massive sectional. Like, it takes over the room. So
sectionals are the best, man.
Yeah, no, it's
probably the best thing that my wife gave me was a sectional. I love my wife, but like the sectional,
right? It's a game changer.
DC, you do realize we have a kid with her, right?
Well, yeah. It's obvious. It's obvious.
Of all the episodes that she's
I'm very
sit
lucky
there
that she doesn't watch this. I'm so lucky she doesn't watch this, because the way you just turn that around. No.
How do you know she doesn't listen to it on Spotify on the way to work?
I love my wife and she loves me, but she could care less. She's glad that I'm having fun, stuff like this, but she's got her own stuff going on. She did listen to like one or two episodes, and she just kind of looked at me and was like, I don't know what the hell is going on. I'm like, don't even worry about it. So she gets a pass. She does a lot for me. So, I gotta give her a pass.
The very first Our Bleepin' City episode that I did with Mike, my niece, who is currently a sophomore in college, who has zero interest in sports. Like, she could care less. Like, her dad owns a sports memorabilia store. If you guys do make it up here, it's an awesome place. You got to check it out. He's been in the business for like over 30 years at this point, and used to actually be a sports writer.
As you can see, the store kind of transferred into
the store moved.
Here, so.
I was about to make that connection.
Yeah, but his daughter, his only child, could care less. And the very first episode that I was on, I had, told a handful of people, including her, and all of a sudden my niece is popping up in the comments section. And I was like, oh my goodness, so she had no idea what was going on. But, it's that effort that, the people that are around us, like, they know that we're passionate about these things. And so they'll make a valid attempt once or twice, but then they're just happy that we're happy.
Steph, Pete Collins wants to know, what's the name of the store?
Gilbert's Sports and Culture. It's in Natick.
It's one of the few ones that are left.
Yeah.
You don't see too many card stores anymore.
Yeah. And
but
he's
that one in.
Yeah.
We love going to Sports World too.
Oh yeah, no, he's got cards, he's got memorabilia.
Oh, Yeah, if we go out, I'm going to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
Make sure you tell him.
It sucks that the cards are not priced like they were when we were kids.
Yeah.
No, man.
Like the cheap packs are like
12, but I'm
$7.
34. So I remember 90s, getting cheap cards when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Now it's like you spend $40-$50 on a, 4 packs of 6. And
the cheap packs are like almost $10.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, man.
And no one wants the cheap ones because you don't get a guaranteed autograph and things like that. I mean, it's totally crazy. But he's been around, since, so the store's been in business over 30 years, but so he's been around through all of the ebbs and flows of the hobby in recent years. But his knowledge of sports is crazy. So you can even just go in and just have a crazy conversation about things. But his own personal collection is unreal. Like he's
so what I'm getting at, Steph, is we hit you in your wallet. Now in return, you're gonna hit DC and I in our wallets. I see how it is. We might have to try to get the friends and family discount.
Oh yeah, no, you definitely tell him that I sent you. So he'll take good care of you.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
But Mikey, Steph, we want to thank you guys for stopping by, and we're definitely going to be sitting there and talking more. I know Mikey and I are going to be talking this weekend to help him flow StreamYard a little bit better for you guys and help you guys out. So I'm sure I'll be able to. I'll be seeing you guys real soon. So thanks for stopping by. And we're sitting there and keep in touch.
Sounds good.
Nice to meet you.
We look forward to it. Nice to meet you guys.
We look forward
we'll meet you in person. We'll be up there.
Yeah, and we look forward to the next year, and hopefully we won't all be like wringing our pulling our hair out after every game. So
I don't have any more hair.
You've got your beard. You can pull the hair out.
You pull your beard.
Oh no. That's the only thing I got left.
You know what? Hey, if we stay in Boston, we'll just shave his beard when he's sleeping.
Well, you might not make it back.
Although I might not want to do that because I got a beard too. So
yeah, but it's not your beard.
DC, you shave half of it.
Yeah. We'll just take care of his eyebrows.
I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that Mike's got some various beard, taking care of your beard accessories that could be used.
Beard oils.
And that could be used in a more fun manner. So
yeah, I could use some of those nutrients. Yeah. You got a beard grower? Because I need one.
So, okay, guys, thanks for stopping by, and we're definitely talk soon.
Sounds good. Have
Absolutely.
a good one, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Care.
Thank you.
Bye.
So, guys, man, that's our guest, so far. So, let's sit there and talk about a little bit of what makes the Pesky Podcast a little different. Is, in my opinion, is what is the writers that we bring on to cover the other teams. Kind of like George is kind of always, dubbed this as the one-stop shop for a series coming up. And, let's sit there and talk about some of the writers that we've had on, and, some of your favorite writers and the experiences that we had. DC, you want to start off?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on a little bit before. Obviously, I'm very thankful for George because he stepped in, and done a great job. I haven't been around as much as I'd like to, so I missed some writers for personal reasons, health reasons, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my favorite, that we've had that I've been on is Anthony from Philly. I don't know. I think we all meshed very well. He was very knowledgeable. He was one of my favorites. I know you guys probably have, a lot more because you guys dealt with a lot more, but he's definitely my favorite. But I think, yeah, I agree. That sets us apart in a different way is the writers. We've also connected with minor league players, and a lot of people don't really, think about to go that low. I mean, a lot of people do, but, it's really cool that we've been able to get that on here, show their life outside of baseball and their life in baseball, show that they are real people, the struggles they go through, the triumphs they also go through. It's been really fun, man. As a Red Sox fan, like I said, we started this as a joke almost at work, and then here it is. And the amount of work that you put in, Rit, is admirable. It started from Pesky Podcast to, a whole Boston sports network that's, that's something to really, hang your hat on. And I look forward to, seeing what you do, what we can do together, but just very proud of you. Just wanted to say that.
I appreciate that, DC. It actually means a lot because I don't think we would be as far as a podcast or as a network if I didn't, like, I hate to say it, but quit my job. You know what I mean? In end of July, beginning of August, because I had all that time. Like, I still work, but it's at my own, schedule, but I'm able to put in a lot more work now. And once the Pesky Podcast got to a substantial amount of stability, I honestly, I told you guys both, I kind of got bored a little bit. So that's when I wanted to expand and, cover multiple, all Boston sports. And we've got a great team, together that's worked with us. We've got Pete with the Foxborough Fellas. We got Alex and Jason with Dynasty Proud covering the Celtics. We got Patrick and Ryan now covering the Bruins. We've got Celeste that is pretty much our own personal Red Sox photographer, that she goes to games, and we exclusively are using her pictures overall. Then we have a second Red Sox podcast, the Pesky Party Hour, that we've had Leslie and Mike Carista on. Mike had to step away for personal reasons, and no matter what, I always said this to you guys, that the Pesky Podcast is kind of like the staple of BSEN, the cornerstone, and because it's our baby, it's my baby that you and I started DC a year ago now, and it kind of means a lot that this keeps going further and keeps going better.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a cool ride. Met a lot of people. I think that's my biggest takeaway is, like I've said a million times, this podcast or this live, whatever you want to call it, is just the connections we made. You're one of my good friends. Obviously we don't see too much anymore. We got different schedules, but we met a guy like George. It's really cool, man. Just stoked to see where we go.
Yeah. I mean, you're the heart and soul of this entire thing. And you're not only the man on the screen, you're also the man behind the curtain. And you made an awful lot of things happen. You've grown, the BSEN environment has just taken off. And we're able to do so many things now that if you talked about it a year ago, would have been, yeah, right, this isn't going to happen, right? Because there's just a lot that has to be done. We've got a bunch of like-minded people that work well together, and that's because of you. So, you're our leader, man, and we're darn happy to be working with you.
I really appreciate that, George. If there's one thing in life that I've always I look at things differently and look at it from 30 different angles. DC working with me before, has seen firsthand where I look at things and look at 30 different outcomes and try to figure out a way to solve each one. And that was because of him, because the one day DC looked at me when I came up and said, "Hey, what about this?" And he goes, I don't want problems. I want solutions." So then that made my mind blow up. It's like, wait a minute. So I try to think of every way possible, and I try to look for the best in everybody. Some people that we've worked with, there was no best in them. But it's like, I try. A lot of times it's just shit luck. Like, we didn't start with shorts or TikTok until just conveniently Jason, that covers Dynasty Proud for the Celtics, went and he's like, I got 64,000 followers on TikTok. I can help you guys out. Leslie is able to make designs. She designed Kings of Causeway, Dynasty Proud, and the Pesky Party Hour logos. She designed some of our shirts. So it's like they all fall in place, but it's all coincidentally because we all work well together. And when Pete wanted with writing, he wanted, I sent him to you, and you helped him get on their way. It's like it's 1 year show, but man, so many memories, George. And just a couple of the recent ones, or in my opinion, were once in a lifetime with Steve Ferrari, coming on, the name successor from Ted Williams. Like that was a once. Well, actually, technically for me, it was twice in a lifetime opportunity, because he was also on the Pesky Party Hour with me.
Right.
But and then Eric Sherman, which was great for you when we kicked DC off the air, so we could finish the podcast.
Yeah, you assholes. Just kidding.
Yes. Yeah, that was so tough. That really was. That was a bizarre night.
Yeah, but it was great, and I'm always looking when I'm talking to somebody. I'm looking for more from people. Like we had Eric Sherman on. He was talking about his Dwight Evans book comes out this summer. After the podcast went off the air, what's the first thing I asked George? Hey, what are the chances of you coming back on the podcast and bringing Dwight on and we talk about the book? I'm always looking for that next opportunity. And a lot of the times when we make relationships, DC, one of your closest relationships is Hunter Dobbins. And it's crazy, how well and how close you two become.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really talked to him too much, but it was cool. I reached out to him, saw on Twitter. He was doing really well before he got, bumped up in the minors, and reached out to him. Really cool dude, got right back. And anytime I reach out to him for help, to come on the podcast, he answers immediately. Just, wish him success going forward. I think he could be I don't know, man. I think he puts it all together. I think he could be a key piece. Just it'd be cool to connect with him in AAA too.
Yeah. I know one of the biggest assets that we've had that really helped boost not only our videos up, but our YouTube page also. And DC knows this. When we were in talks with Grandstand Productions, and I was dead set on getting their video people because we needed them. And then coincidentally, was it 2-3 months later, now we have our head of creative and our head editor, Judd, who was from Grandstand Productions. We wouldn't have our 842 subscribers if it wasn't for his videos, his editing, and him helping out as much as he does, behind scenes with the video and the YouTube page.
Yeah, I mean, it was a rocky road there for a little bit, a couple of months ago or several months ago. And I was, stoked when he jumped on board. Huge asset. He's got really good skills, and we're lucky to have him.
Oh, he's a magician doing that. His work is astounding.
Yeah.
No, he's an inspiration for sure.
Yeah.
Like working with, he was working with Pete hand in hand, helping put videos together. And then, Pete's role's expanding where he does 90% of our social media. So I help out Judd as much as possible now with the video narrative. And George, almost any video that has narrative behind it is your writing. You know what I mean? And I really appreciate, what you do. Not only the Sunday columns, but all the videos, this whole preview of the 2024 season, everything every word spoken is your writing.
Well, I enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun. As I said, I do this because I like it, and I love working with you guys. Okay, and yeah, it's like I said, working with great people like you guys and Judd. And the rest of the team. I mean, Pete and those. We're just a great group of people, and it's just all falling together. So yeah, I'm having a blast.
Yeah. The DC. What do you see? Where would you like the Pesky Podcast to go for year 2?
I mean, just continue to create relationships with players. I think we do a good job of talking to the younger players. Creating that foundation. I think once they get up to the higher levels, I think that's going to bring us to the higher levels. Just for the relationships that we built. I'll just keep meeting people, keep putting out good product. Like we have. Like I said, you've done a lot for this podcast, for this whole network. In general. I just want to keep having fun. I think when you keep it fun. That's how good things happen. Doesn't feel like a job, which is a good thing. But I think, like I said, just keep connecting with the people, connecting with the players that are in the minors, eventually then connecting with people in the majors. And I think that the future is bright for sure.
Yeah. George?
Yeah, I think we continue to grow, and the more connections we make, the more opportunities there are going to be to bring different people on. If you look at the last month and a half or so, we were able to get people like Eric Sherman on. We were able to get Steve Ferroli on. Okay, and where that takes us, who knows? Because as I said from my own thing, if you told me I was going to be speaking on a podcast on a regular basis and doing the voiceovers for this and doing all kinds of writing, I just said, yeah, probably not. I was just doing it to something, as a hobby. It's been great. And I think that's the key. We haven't been afraid to go tackle new things. And, the young players, as DC rightly pointed out, we made the connections there. As they begin to rise through the system, hopefully, they'll remember us. We've already made great connections with guys like CT and Theo Denlinger. I mean, talk about two really good people, and they're a little bit different, but boy, they're great guys. And we've had other people on, and I think that if we pay attention to what's going on, and we have been, we're only going to get better over time. So I'm just glad I could be a small part of it.
Yeah. Yeah. You're 1/3 of us, and and you're a big part of BSEN. That without you, without Judd, we wouldn't be as far as we are.
I'm finally making my English degree pay off.
Well, 2 of my biggest goals this season is one. I want to finish getting all the writers for us. We have like 13 or 14 yet that we need to get to cover teams. That's one of my biggest goals. So that way we don't have to worry about, waiting the last minute. And DC, I want you and I, whether it's at Scranton or whether it's up at Polar Park, I want to do a live Pesky Podcast from a baseball game. Where we can pull and interview players, pull and interview fans, and bring them live on the air and talk to them about, about the game that's going on. I think that'd be, a different aspect that we can sit there and do a little bit more lives when we're needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that'd be cool. I think also getting to Portland and then getting all 3 of us together to do a live would be an ultimate goal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm only an hour and a half. I'm only an hour and a half from Worcester, so we can maybe make something happen down there. So
yeah, that'd be sweet.
So,
like I said,
5.5.
George is a huge part of this podcast. He's done a lot for us, and he deserves to be there. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that's not what you meant, but like, I didn't realize it was that close, so I'd like to him being part of that too.
Oh no, it's. I mean, I have. To me, that's nothing. I mean, you guys get the big travel to get up to Worcester.
Yeah.
That's like me going. That's like me going to Scranton or Lehigh Valley or something like that. It's like, that's a hike for me.
You never want to go to those places, by the way.
I've been to Scranton.
It's about. I mean, it's not too bad, but yeah. I'm from that small town, so
yeah. But man, guys, here's the year. Here's another year coming up. You know, today was the first season of first game of the season.
Yep.
You know, for spring training. So, man, I can't wait, and I can't wait to see where we go and what new friends that we make and what old friends that we, you know, rekindle and, you know, just keep building relationships with. So
I know one friend we're not going to be rekindling with, but I ain't going to say it.
Wow. I kind of get.
You're dying to do that, aren't you, DC? You're just dying.
Listen, I'm like a 6-pack deep of IPAs, so I've been holding it in pretty well.
Well, it's okay when we go up to Polar Park. We just make sure that we don't take any. We don't go out in the Cape very much. So, but
Jesus, you went even farther than I did.
But guys, you know, thank you, DC, for the first year. George, thank you for the first year. And
absolutely, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
Here's to the next year. So, guys, make sure you head on over to @BSEN617 to subscribe, check out our Pesky Podcast and every other podcast part of our network. Make sure you go and check out BAM right there by DC. Scan that QR code. Do like Steph does, and order some merchandise. You know, get the credit card out. Order some merchandise. I really appreciate it. So, for DC, for the OG George Sutherland, and for myself, check us out next week when we start two weeks, 2 podcasts a week, because we're back in business.